Albania, a land where ancient civilizations converged, boasts an extraordinary archaeological heritage spanning from prehistoric caves to Ottoman monuments. HistoryAlbania explores 30 incredible discoveries that reveal the country's rich history Illyrian. Fortresses, Greek colonies, Roman cities, Byzantine churches, and medieval bazaars. Each site tells a unique story, from the 2,500-year-old theater of Butrint to the Ottoman clock tower of Peqin, showcasing Albania's role as a crossroads of cultures. Dive into these well-preserved ruins, royal tombs, and sacred spaces that continue to captivate archaeologists and history enthusiasts alike. Albania's most incredible archaeological discoveries that rewrote history. The ancient city of Butrint, nestled along the shores of the Vivari Channel in southern Albania, the UNESCO World Heritage Site of Butrint represents one of the most complete and unbroken records of Mediterranean civilization, spanning from the Bronze Age to the Ottoman period. The city's earliest traces date to the 8th century before Christ as a colonial settlement, later developing into a major Greek colony in the 4th century before Christ with the construction of its iconic theater, temples, and defensive walls. The Roman period saw Butrint's transformation into a prosperous port city, evidenced by the well-preserved baths with hypocaust systems, a nymphaeum fountain complex, and the expansive Roman villa with its exquisite floor mosaics depicting mythological scenes. Particularly significant is the 5th-6th century Anno Domini baptistery, containing one of the largest and best-preserved Paleo-Christian mosaics in the Mediterranean, featuring intricate geometric patterns and symbolic Christian motifs. The site's Byzantine phase includes 3 basilicas and an impressive Acropolis fortification, while the Venetian towers and Ottoman additions demonstrate its continued strategic importance through the medieval period. Recent underwater archaeology in the adjacent lake has revealed submerged harbor structures and shipwrecks that provide new insights into Butrint's maritime connections. The site's exceptional preservation is due in part to its abandonment in the late Middle Ages and subsequent protection within a malaria-infested marshland, creating an extraordinary time capsule of architectural and urban development across multiple civilizations. Ongoing excavations continue to uncover new findings, including a recently discovered Greek necropolis and previously unknown Roman residential quarters, ensuring Butrint remains at the forefront of Mediterranean archaeological research. The Apollonia Archaeological Park, founded in 588 before Christ by Greek colonists from Corinth and Corfu, Apollonia grew to become one of the most important city-states of the Adriatic coast, its 137-hectare archaeological park preserving some of Albania's finest examples of Hellenistic and Roman architecture. The city's monumental center features a remarkably intact 2nd century before Christ theater with perfect acoustics. The imposing 12-meter-high Aganathetes monument honoring a civic benefactor, and the sprawling Roman Forum complex containing a library, bouleuterion, and multiple temples. Apollonia's significance as a center of learning is immortalized by ancient accounts of Octavian, future Emperor Augustus, studying philosophy here under the Greek scholar Athenodorus. The site's museum, housed in a beautifully restored 14th century Byzantine monastery, displays an exceptional collection of artifacts, including the famous Apollonia Beauty statue and hundreds of inscribed decrees that illuminate the city's political life. Recent geophysical surveys have revealed an extensive network of unexcavated Roman villas in the surrounding countryside, many with intact mosaic floors, while ongoing excavations in the city's necropolis are uncovering elaborate Hellenistic chamber tombs with rich grave goods. The city's decline after a devastating 3rd century Anno Domini earthquake preserved much of its classical architecture without later overbuilding, creating an archaeological landscape of rare coherence that continues to yield new discoveries about urban life in antiquity. The royal Illyrian tombs of Selka e Poshtma, carved into the limestone cliffs above the Shkumbin River Valley. The royal Illyrian tombs at Sulca represent the most impressive surviving example of pre-Roman monumental architecture in the Balkans, dating to the 4th-3rd centuries before Christ. These 5 rock-cut tombs, created for the royal family of the Illyrian Talanti tribe, showcase an extraordinary fusion of indigenous traditions and Greek architectural influences, particularly in Tomb I with its full-scale Doric facade, complete with triglyphs and metopes. The interior chambers feature sophisticated stone carving techniques, including false doors designed to deter grave robbers and precisely engineered drainage systems to protect the burial spaces. Archaeological excavations have revealed gold, funerary masks, silver and bronze weaponry, and imported Greek pottery and glassware that demonstrate the wealth and far-reaching connections of the Illyrian elite. The nearby Acropolis settlement, with its Cyclopean fortification walls and palace complex, indicates this was a major political and economic center, controlling trade routes between the coast and interior. Recent 3D laser scanning of the tombs has provided new insights into their construction methods, while isotopic analysis of skeletal remains is revealing information about the diet and origins of the buried individuals. The site's strategic location along the later Remang Via Agnatia ensured its continued importance into antiquity, though the tombs themselves remained undisturbed, preserving an unparalleled record of Illyrian royal burial practices and artistic achievement at the crossroads of Mediterranean civilizations. The Durres amphitheater, buried beneath the modern city of Durres, lies one of the largest and most historically significant Roman amphitheaters in the Balkans, constructed in the early 2nd century Anno Domini during Emperor Trajan's reign. This colossal elliptical structure, measuring 132 meters by 113 meters, could accommodate 15,000 to 20,000 spectators for gladiatorial combats and public spectacles, its design rivaling contemporary arenas in Italy. The amphitheater's underground network of chambers and tunnels, hypogeum, remains remarkably intact, including the animal pens and mechanical lifts used to bring beasts into the arena. In the 5th century Anno Domini, as Christianity took hold, a small chapel decorated with exquisite mosaics of saints and Christian symbols was built directly into the arena wall, making this one of the earliest examples of Christian adaptation of pagan structures. The site's archaeological significance was dramatically enhanced by the 2004 discovery of a second, even older amphitheater beneath the first, suggesting Durres, ancient Dyrrhachium, may have had 2 functioning arenas simultaneously during its peak as a Roman provincial capital. Recent conservation efforts have stabilized the fragile mosaics, while innovative drainage systems combat rising groundwater threatening the subterranean structures. The adjacent Archaeological Museum displays artifacts recovered from the site, including gladiatorial weapons, marble statues from the arena's decoration, and votive offerings from the Christian chapel, collectively telling the story of this monument's evolution from pagan entertainment venue to sacred Christian space over 5 centuries of continuous use. The Bylis archaeological site, the ancient city of Bylis, situated near modern Haikal in southern Albania, represents one of the most significant urban centers of the Illyrian Bulians tribe, evolving into a major Roman city that flourished from the 4th century before Christ through the 6th century Anno Domini. Spread across a 30-hectare plateau with commanding views of the Vosu River Valley, this remarkably well-preserved site showcases the transition from Illyrian tribal settlement to Roman provincial city with exceptional clarity. The original Illyrian foundations are visible in the massive Cyclopean walls surrounding the Acropolis, built using enormous limestone blocks fitted together without mortar in characteristic polygonal style. During its Hellenistic peak in the 3rd-2nd centuries before Christ, Bylis developed an impressive urban infrastructure, including a theater carved into the hillside with seating for 7,500 spectators, a Butrint for civic assemblies, and an agora lined with stoas housing shops and workshops. The Roman period saw the construction of monumental public works, including a nymphaeum fountain complex spanning 30 meters in length with elaborate marble revetments and thermal baths featuring sophisticated hypocaust heating systems. Recent excavations in the residential quarters have uncovered luxurious villas with stunning mosaic floors, the most spectacular being the 3rd century Anno Domini Orpheus mosaic, depicting the mythical musician surrounded by enchanted animals. In vibrant colors, the city's religious life is evidenced by temples dedicated to Artemis and Asclepius, later replaced by a 5th century Anno Domini Christian basilica with an ornate baptistry, illustrating Bylis' gradual conversion to Christianity. The surrounding necropolis has yielded richly furnished graves containing gold jewelry, glass unguentaria, and imported Roman pottery, demonstrating the wealth generated by Bylis' control of trade routes between coast and interior. Ongoing excavations are currently revealing new sections of the Roman Forum and an extensive network of underground water channels that supplied the city's fountains and baths. By this exceptional state of preservation, with many structures standing several meters high, combined with its strategic location along the ancient Via Egnatia, makes it an invaluable resource for understanding urban development in the southern Illyrian territories under Roman rule. The Antigonea archaeological site, perched on a strategic hilltop overlooking the Drino River Valley, the ruins of Antigonea represent one of Albania's most important Hellenistic-era archaeological sites, founded in 295 before Christ by King Pyrrhus of Epirus as both a military stronghold and a monument to his wife Antigone. The city's carefully planned grid layout, covering approximately 45 hectares within massive polygonal defensive walls, exemplifies the urban ideals of the Hellenistic period, with wide stone-paved streets dividing the settlement into regular insulae, city blocks. Archaeological investigations have revealed numerous public buildings, including an 80-meter-long stoa covered walkway that once housed shops and civic offices, a Butrint council house with seating for 300 citizens, and what appears to be a Prytanean government building containing an eternal flame symbolic of the city's life. The residential quarters feature houses built in typical Hellenistic style around central courtyards, some with preserved mosaic floors depicting geometric patterns and mythological scenes. Particularly noteworthy is the city's sophisticated water management system, which included an intricate network of underground channels and cisterns that collected rainwater for year-round use. The site's Acropolis, occupying the highest point of the plateau, contains the foundations of a probable temple dedicated to Apollo or Artemis, evidenced by architectural fragments bearing classical Greek decorative elements. Antigonea's violent destruction by Roman forces in 167 before Christ is dramatically illustrated in the archaeological record, with layers of burnt debris and hastily abandoned household items testifying to the city's abrupt end. Limited reoccupation in late antiquity is evidenced by the remains of a small 5th century Anno Domini Christian basilica built atop earlier structures. Recent geophysical surveys have identified several unexcavated public buildings beneath the Chint surface, suggesting Antigonea may have been even more monumental than currently apparent. The site's exceptional state of preservation, combined with its historical significance as one of Pyrrhus' major urban foundations, makes it an invaluable resource for understanding Hellenistic city planning and the cultural dynamics of ancient Epirus. The medieval castle of Kruja, the imposing fortress of Kruja, dramatically situated on a rocky outcrop 680 meters above sea level, represents one of Albania's most iconic medieval archaeological sites, with architectural elements spanning from Byzantine, Ottoman, and early modern periods. The castle's strategic position, controlling the route between the Adriatic coast and the interior, Balkans made it a coveted stronghold throughout history, with the earliest fortifications dating to the 5th-6th centuries Anno Domini during Byzantine rule. The current structure largely reflects 5th-10th century Anno Domini modifications under the leadership of national hero Gjirokaster Ottoman, who successfully defended the castle against multiple Ottoman sieges between 1450 and 1467. The archaeological site covers approximately 2.5 hectares within massive stone walls that in places reach 8 meters in thickness, incorporating earlier Byzantine construction techniques with later medieval reinforcements. Excavations within the castle grounds have revealed the foundations of a Byzantine-era church, an Ottoman-era mosque, and the remains of Skanderbeg's princely palace, which housed his famous armory. The castle's water supply system, consisting of deep cisterns and an ingenious rainwater collection network, demonstrates advanced medieval engineering adapted to the site's challenging topography. Particularly significant are the recently uncovered underground storage chambers and escape tunnels that played crucial roles during sieges. The Castle Museum displays numerous artifacts recovered from the site, including medieval weapons, Ottoman era, ceramics, and fragments of frescoes from the Byzantine church. Ongoing archaeological investigations are focusing on the castle's lower terraces, where evidence of civilian settlement has been found, including workshops and merchant stalls that serve the garrison. The site's exceptional preservation and its symbolic importance in Albanian history make it one of the country's most visited monuments, offering visitors a tangible connection to the nation's medieval past and its resistance against foreign domination. Recent restoration projects have carefully balanced conservation needs with maintaining the castle's authentic atmosphere, ensuring that this powerful symbol of Albanian identity endures for future generations. The ancient Greek colony of Lissos, Leju, the ancient city of Lissos, located beneath modern Leju on Albania's Adriatic coast, was founded in 385 before Christ as a strategic outpost of Syracuse under the tyrant Dionysius I, making it one of the earliest Greek colonies on the Illyrian shore. Established to control trade routes between Magna Graecia and the Balkan interior, Lissos grew into an important Hellenistic port city that later flourished under Roman and Byzantine rule. Archaeological excavations have revealed substantial remains of the Greek settlement, including an impressive circuit of 4th century before Christ, defensive walls built in the characteristic isodomic masonry style with alternating courses of limestone blocks. The city's agora, marketplace, features a well-preserved stoa, covered walkway, and several public buildings with mosaic floors depicting marine motifs appropriate for a coastal trading center. The most significant religious structure uncovered is the Sanctuary of Dionysus, which yielded marble votive reliefs of the god, numerous wine amphorae, and inscriptions detailing annual festivals that attracted worshippers from across the region. The Hellenistic theater, though smaller than those at Apollonia or Butrint, retains much of its original stone seating and offers spectacular views over the nearby river mouth. Under Roman rule beginning in the 2nd century before Christ, Lissos expanded significantly with the construction of thermal baths using the hypocaust heating system, a Capitolium temple dedicated to the imperial cult, and a forum complex with an ornate nymphaeum fountain. The city's importance continued into late antiquity, evidenced by the remains of a 5th century Anno Domini three-aisled basilica built atop earlier Roman structures, with its apse still standing several meters high. The medieval monastery of Ardenica, founded in 1282 Anno Domini by Byzantine Emperor Andronicus II Palaiologos. The monastery of Ardenica is one of Albania's best-preserved medieval religious complexes. Perched on a hill overlooking the Mysic Plains, this Orthodox monastery played a pivotal role in Albanian history most notably as the site where national hero Skanderbeg married Danica Castrioti in 1451 Anno Domini. The Church of St. Mary. The monastery's centerpiece boasts exquisite frescoes from the 14th-18th centuries, including rare Paleolithic-era depictions of saints and biblical scenes. The iconostasis, carved from walnut wood, is a masterpiece of post-Byzantine art, while the library once housed illuminated manuscripts, many now in the National Archives. Archaeological excavations have revealed earlier Roman foundations beneath the monastery, suggesting continuous sacred use of the site. The complex includes well-preserved monastic cells, a refectory with original furnishings, and defensive walls that protected the community during turbulent periods. Of particular artistic importance are the 18th century frescoes in the narthex, which show a unique blend of Byzantine iconography and emerging Western Renaissance influences. The monastery's scriptorium was renowned for producing religious texts in both Greek and early Albanian, making it an important center for the preservation of Albanian culture during Ottoman rule. Today, Ardenica remains an active spiritual center and a window into Albania's medieval Christian heritage, with ongoing restoration work preserving its magnificent frescoes and architectural features for future generations. The ancient city of Oricum, the ancient port city of Oricum, nestled along Albania's southern Adriatic coast near modern-day Vlorë, represents one of the most significant maritime archaeological sites in the country, with continuous occupation, from the 6th century before Christ through the Byzantine period. Founded by Greek colonists from Corfu and mentioned by ancient writers including Thucydides and Caesar, Oricum served as a crucial naval base and trading hub due to its strategic position at the mouth of the Vusu River. Recent underwater excavations have revealed remarkably well-preserved harbor structures, including stone quays, wooden pilings, and several ancient shipwrecks laden with cargoes of amphorae from across the Mediterranean world. The terrestrial site features impressive 4th century before Christ polygonal walls enclosing the Acropolis, within which archaeologists have uncovered a Hellenistic theater with seating for approximately 1,500 spectators, and the foundations of a temple believed to be dedicated to Artemis. The Roman period saw significant expansion, with the construction of thermal baths featuring hypocaust heating systems, horia warehouses for storing trade goods, and a nymphaeum fountain decorated with marble statues. Particularly noteworthy are the archaeological finds related to Julius Caesar's use of Oricum as a base during his civil war against Pompey, including lead sling bullets inscribed with military unit names and coins minted by both factions. The city's decline began in late antiquity, though it remained occupied as evidenced by a 6th century Anno Domini Byzantine fortress built atop earlier structures and a small Christian basilica. Ongoing marine archaeological surveys continue to uncover new discoveries, most recently identifying a Roman-era shipwreck carrying a cargo of marble columns likely destined for a provincial villa. The combination of well-preserved terrestrial ruins and submerged harbor remains makes Oricum an exceptional site for studying ancient maritime trade networks and coastal urban development in the Adriatic region. The Illyrian fortress of Gajtan. The Illyrian fortress of Gajtan, dramatically situated on a hilltop near Shkodër in northern Albania, stands as one of the most impressive prehistoric fortified settlements in the Balkans, with origins dating to the 8th century before Christ. This massive hilltop citadel, constructed by the Illyrian Labiatae tribe, spans over 5 hectares and features cyclopean walls built from colossal limestone blocks weighing up to 5 tons each, fitted together without mortar in a characteristic polygonal pattern. The fortress's strategic location provided commanding views over the Dring River valley and control of important trade routes between the Adriatic coast and the Balkan interior. Excavations have revealed a complex urban layout, including residential quarters with circular stone foundations, storage facilities for grain and other commodities, and specialized workshop areas for metalworking and pottery production. Among the most significant finds are bronze weapons and armor, including distinctive Illyrian helmet types and spearheads, as well as gold jewelry featuring intricate spiral motifs characteristic of local craftsmanship. The discovery of imported Greek pottery, particularly Corinthian and Attic wares, demonstrates Gajtan's participation in long-distance trade networks as early as the 6th century before Christ. The fortress played a crucial role during the Roman conquest of Illyria in the 2nd century before Christ, when it was besieged and partially destroyed by Roman forces, as evidenced by layers of burnt debris and abandoned weaponry found in the archaeological record. Despite this, the site shows evidence of continued occupation into the early medieval period, with Slavic pottery and Christian burials found in upper layers. Recent geophysical surveys have identified previously unknown structures beneath the surface, suggesting the fortress may have been even more extensive than currently visible. The site's exceptional preservation and its importance in understanding Illyrian urbanism and defensive architecture make it one of Albania's most significant prehistoric archaeological sites, offering valuable insights into the social organization and technological capabilities of the Illyrian tribes before Roman domination. The Paleo-Christian Basilica of Lin. The Paleo-Christian Basilica of Lin, located on a picturesque peninsula jutting into Lake Ohrid in eastern Albania, represents one of the most important early Christian archaeological sites in the country, with architectural elements dating from the 5th to 10th centuries Anno Domini. This three-aisled basilica, built atop earlier Roman foundations, features an extraordinary mosaic floor covering approximately 300 square meters with intricate geometric patterns, floral motifs, and depictions of animals that blend classical Roman artistic traditions with emerging Christian symbolism. The narthex mosaic contains a rare donor inscription mentioning Bishop Eustathius, providing valuable evidence about the ecclesiastical organization of early Christian Albania. The apse area preserves fragments of fresco decoration that once covered the walls, including remnants of what appears to be a Theotokos, Virgin Mary, representation. Archaeological investigations have uncovered an associated baptistry with a cruciform font and the remains of a martyrion, memorial chapel, containing multiple burials. The site's later medieval phase includes a 9th century reconstruction that adapted the basilica to Byzantine liturgical practices, with the addition of a synthronen clergy seating in the apse and a templon barrier separating the nave and the sanctuary. The surrounding area has yielded numerous funerary stelae with early Christian inscriptions in Greek, some featuring the distinctive Albanian spiral motif that suggests cultural continuity with pre-Christian traditions. Recent geophysical surveys have identified what may be a monastery complex adjacent to the basilica, with potential workshop areas and additional residential structures yet to be excavated. The basilica's lakeside location, combined with its exceptional artistic remains, make it a key site for understanding the transition from late antiquity to the medieval period in the Western Balkans and the development of Christian art and architecture in the region. Conservation challenges, particularly regarding the preservation of the extensive mosaic floors exposed to the elements, have prompted innovative protective measures while maintaining the site's accessibility to visitors. The Lin Basilica stands as a testament to the rich Christian heritage of Albania and its connections to the wider Byzantine world during the early medieval period. The ancient city of Amantia, perched on a strategic hilltop near modern Vlora. The ancient city of Amantia represents one of Albania's most significant archaeological sites from the Hellenistic and Roman periods, with continuous occupation. From the 5th century before Christ through the 6th century Anno Domini. Founded by the Illyrian Amantia tribe, the city later developed into an important Greek polis before becoming a Roman municipium. The site's most striking feature is its acropolis, protected by massive polygonal walls enclosing a sanctuary dedicated to Aphrodite, where archaeologists had discovered numerous votive offerings, including terracotta figurines, bronze jewelry, and inscribed stelae. The lower city boasts a well-preserved Hellenistic theater dating to the 3rd century before Christ, one of the oldest in Albania, with seating carved directly into the rocky hillside and offering spectacular views of the Vjosu River Valley. Recent excavations have uncovered a Roman-era stadium used for athletic competitions, measuring approximately 180 meters in length, along with a Bouleuterian council house that could accommodate 300 citizens. The city's Roman period is particularly well documented through the remains of a bath complex with hypocaust heating systems and a monumental nymphaeum decorated with marble statues of water deities. Amantia's necropolis has yielded rich finds, including 4th century before Christ warrior graves containing iron helmets, spearheads, and gold funerary masks, demonstrating the city's military importance. During the Byzantine era, Amantia became an ecclesiastical center, evidenced by a 3-aisled basilica constructed in the 5th century Anno Domini atop the ancient Agora. Ongoing archaeological work continues to reveal new aspects of this important regional center, including recently discovered residential quarters with well-preserved mosaic floors, depicting geometric patterns and mythological scenes. The site's strategic location along ancient trade routes and its exceptional state of preservation make it an invaluable resource for understanding the cultural interactions between Illyrian, Greek, and Roman civilizations in the Adriatic hinterland. The medieval fortress of Bashtova, the imposing Bashtova fortress, located near the mouth of the Shkumbin River where it meets the Adriatic Sea, stands as one of Albania's best-preserved examples of late medieval military architecture, dating primarily to the 14th century Anno Domini. Constructed during the reign of Byzantine Emperor Andronikos III, Palaiologos as part of a defensive network against Ottoman expansion, this massive rectangular stronghold measures approximately 180 by 150 meters, with walls reaching 10 meters. In height, the fortress's design reflects a fascinating synthesis of Byzantine and emerging Italian Renaissance military architecture, featuring alternating courses of brick and local stone that create a distinctive striped pattern. Excavations within the fortress have revealed barracks, storage facilities, a chapel, and an elaborate water collection system consisting of deep cisterns and underground channels. The main gate displays sophisticated defensive features including multiple doors, murder holes, and a drawbridge mechanism. Archaeological finds from the site include Byzantine coins, weapons, and ceramics, along with Phoenician artifacts from the period when the Republic of Venice briefly controlled the fortress in the early 15th century. Bashtova played a significant role during Skanderbeg's rebellion against the Ottomans, serving as a supply base and refuge for his forces. Recent conservation work has stabilized the structure while preserving its authentic medieval character, and ongoing archaeological investigations are uncovering evidence of earlier Romang and possibly Illyrian fortifications beneath the Byzantine layers. The fortress's strategic location allowed it to control both maritime traffic along the Adriatic coast and riverine trade along the Shkumbin, making it a vital economic as well as military center in late medieval Albania. The Illyrian necropolis of Kamenica. The Illyrian necropolis of Kamenica, located near Cork in southeastern Albania, represents one of the largest and most scientifically significant prehistoric burial sites in the Western Balkans, with continuous use from the 12th through the 4th centuries before Christ. This vast burial ground, accidentally discovered during road construction in 2000, contains over 1,000 graves that provide an unparalleled chronological sequence of Illyrian funerary practices. The earliest Bronze Age graves, 12th-8th centuries. Before Christ feature simple pit burials with modest grave goods, including handmade pottery and bronze ornaments, while the Iron Age phases, 7th-4th centuries before Christ, show increasingly elaborate burial customs with stone-lined cist graves and impressive tumuli for elite individuals. The most spectacular find is the so-called warrior prince grave from the 6th century before Christ, containing a complete panoply of iron weapons, a gold death mask, and ceremonial drinking vessels. The necropolis has yielded numerous imported items including Attic black figure pottery, Baltic amber beads, and Phoenician glass ornaments, demonstrating extensive trade networks. Recent osteological and DNA studies of the human remains are providing valuable information about diet, health, and population movements in ancient Illyria. The on-site Kamenica Tumulus Museum displays these remarkable finds in context, helping visitors understand the complex social hierarchy and cultural practices of Albania's prehistoric inhabitants. Ongoing excavations continue to reveal new graves and associated ritual features, making this one of the most important archaeological sites for understanding the development of Illyrian society over nearly a millennium. The ancient city of Bylis, the magnificent ruins of ancient Bylis, perched on a 524-meter-high plateau overlooking the Vosu River Valley, represent one of Albania's most impressive archaeological sites from the Hellenistic and Roman periods. Founded in the 4th century before Christ by the Illyrian Bilians tribe, this strategically positioned city developed into one of the most important urban centers of southern Illyria before becoming a Roman colony in the 2nd century before Christ. The site's most striking feature is its well-preserved city walls stretching over 2.2 kilometers, constructed in the characteristic polygonal masonry technique with massive limestone blocks weighing up to 5 tons each. Within these formidable fortifications, archaeologists have uncovered an exceptionally planned urban layout featuring a 7,500-seat theater carved into the hillside, a Butrint council house with intact seating tiers, and an agora surrounded by stoas that once housed shops and public offices. The Roman period saw the construction of monumental additions, including a 30-meter-long nymphaeum, ornamental fountain, decorated with marble statues, thermal baths with sophisticated hypocaust heating systems, and luxurious villas featuring exquisite mosaic floors. One particularly well-preserved 3rd century Anno Domini villa contains the famous Orpheus mosaic, depicting the mythical musician surrounded by enchanted animals in remarkably vibrant colors. Recent excavations have revealed an early Christian complex dating to the 5th century Anno Domini, including a 3-aisled basilica with an ornate baptistry and martyrion built directly atop the Roman Forum. The site's necropolis has yielded rich grave goods including gold jewelry, imported glassware, and weapons that testify to Bylis' prosperity and far-reaching trade connections. Ongoing archaeological investigations using ground-penetrating radar have identified several unexcavated structures beneath the surface, suggesting the city may have been even more extensive than currently visible. Bylis' exceptional state of preservation, combined with its dramatic hilltop setting, makes it one of Albania's most impressive archaeological sites and an invaluable resource for understanding the urban development of Illyrian settlements under Roman influence. The Ottoman-era lead mosque, Zamia e Plummet, in Shkodër, the lead mosque, Zamia e Plummet, constructed in 1773 to 1774 Anno Domini, during the height of Ottoman rule in Albania, represents one of the country's most significant Islamic architectural monuments and a masterpiece of late Ottoman religious architecture. Built by Mehmed Pasha Bushati, the powerful governor of the semi-autonomous Pashalik of Shkodër, the mosque derives its name from the lead coating that once covered its distinctive dome. The architectural complex follows the classical Ottoman mosque plan but incorporates unique local elements, including the use of alternating courses of stone and brick in the minaret, a feature characteristic of the Bushati building style. The mosque's prayer hall is crowned by a massive 12-meter diameter dome supported by an innovative system of pendentives and squinches, while the interior decoration features exquisite floral motifs and calligraphic inscriptions in the Ottoman Baroque style. Recent restoration work has uncovered original wall paintings beneath later layers of plaster, revealing intricate geometric patterns and Quranic verses executed in vibrant mineral pigments. The mosque's courtyard preserves the original Katervan, ablution fountain, and several Ottoman-era tombstones with finely carved epitaphs. Archaeological investigations in the surrounding area have revealed the foundations of the original madrasa, Islamic school, and imarat, public kitchen, that formed part of the larger religious complex. The lead mosque's strategic location near the entrance to Shkodër's historic bazaar district made it a central feature of the city's urban fabric during the Ottoman period. Unlike many other Islamic monuments in Albania that were damaged during the communist era, the lead mosque survived relatively intact, though its lead roof was removed in 1967. Current conservation efforts focus on documenting the mosque's original architectural features and restoring its distinctive lead-covered dome, while ongoing archaeological work continues to uncover new information about daily life in Ottoman-era Shkodër. The mosque stands as a testament to Albania's rich Islamic heritage and the cultural achievements of the Bushati period in Albanian history. The Roman Bridge of Nicaea, the remarkably preserved Roman bridge at Nicaea, spanning the Shkumbin River in central Albania, stands as one of the finest examples of Roman engineering in the Balkans, dating to the 2nd century Anno Domini. Constructed as part of the Via Egnatia, the vital Roman road connecting Rome with Byzantium, the bridge features a single semicircular arch with a span of 12 meters, built from precisely cut limestone blocks without mortar. The bridge's sophisticated design includes triangular cutwaters on both sides to divert floodwaters and a carefully calculated roadway incline of 8% for optimal drainage. Recent archaeological investigations have revealed the original Roman road, surface preserved beneath later Ottoman repairs, consisting of large basalt paving stones with visible cart ruts. The bridge's construction techniques demonstrate advanced Roman engineering knowledge, particularly in the use of wooden centering during construction and the strategic placement of keystone blocks. Inscriptions found nearby record repairs made during the reign of Emperor Justinian in the 6th century Anno Domini, when the bridge formed part of Byzantine defensive networks. The structure continued in use throughout the medieval period, with Ottoman-era modifications, including the addition of parapet walls. Current conservation efforts focus on documenting the bridge's original Roman fabric while preserving evidence of its continuous 1,800-year history of use. The Nicaea Bridge represents an outstanding example of Roman infrastructure that remained functional through multiple historical periods, serving as a tangible link between ancient and modern Albania. The medieval Church of St. Mary in Voskopaju. The Church of St. Mary in Voskopaju, dating to the 14th century Anno Domini, represents one of Albania's most important Byzantine-era religious monuments and a masterpiece of late medieval Balkan art. This cross-and-square church features a distinctive architectural plan with a central dome supported by 4 massive piers and an extended narthex added in the 17th century. The church's interior is entirely covered with frescoes executed in multiple phases between 1345 and 1699, creating a unique palimpsest of Byzantine and post-Byzantine painting styles. The earliest fresco layer, attributed to the workshop of the famous painter Onufri, includes a magnificent Deesis composition in the sanctuary with Christ Pantocrator, flanked by the Virgin Mary and John the Baptist. The narthex features later fresco cycles depicting the Last Judgment and scenes from the Old Testament. painted in the distinctive vibrant red palette for which Onofre became renowned. Recent conservation work has revealed previously hidden underdrawings and inscriptions that provide new insights into the church's artistic and theological program. The iconostasis, carved in 1773, represents one of the finest examples of woodworking from the Albanian Renaissance period, featuring intricate floral motifs and gilded figures of saints. Archaeological investigations beneath the church have uncovered the foundations of an earlier 10th century basilica, confirming Voskopaju's importance as a religious center during the First Bulgarian Empire. The church's remarkable artistic heritage and continuous use through centuries of political change make it a vital monument for understanding the development of Christian art and architecture in the Balkans. Current preservation efforts focus on stabilizing the fragile frescoes and protecting the structure from environmental damage while maintaining its function as an active place of worship. The Illyrian fortress of Gajtan. The Illyrian fortress of Gajtan, dramatically situated on a limestone plateau near Shkodër, represents one of the most impressive prehistoric fortified settlements in the Western Balkans, dating from the 8th to 1st centuries before Christ. This massive hilltop citadel, built by the Illyrian Labiate tribe, covers approximately 5 hectares and features monumental cyclopean walls constructed from precisely fitted limestone blocks weighing up to 5 tons each. The fortress's strategic location provided commanding views over the Drine River valley and control of vital trade routes between the Adriatic coast and Balkan interior. Recent excavations have revealed an exceptionally well-planned urban layout, with distinct residential, industrial, and religious zones. The metalworking quarter has yielded numerous bronze and iron artifacts, including distinctive Illyrian helmet types, spearheads, and intricately decorated fibulae, brooches, that demonstrate advanced metallurgical skills. Particularly noteworthy is the discovery of a bronze belt plaque depicting a ritual scene with warriors and animals. Considered a masterpiece of Illyrian art, the site's religious significance is evidenced by a sacred precinct containing altars and votive offerings, including terracotta figurines of deities and bronze statuettes of horses, animals sacred to the Illyrians. The fortress played a crucial role during the Roman conquest of Illyria in the 2nd century before Christ, when it was besieged and partially destroyed by Roman forces, as evidenced by layers of burnt debris and abandoned weaponry. Despite this, the site shows evidence of continued occupation into the early medieval period, with Slavic pottery and Christian burials found in upper layers. Ongoing archaeological investigations using 3D laser scanning are revealing new details about the fortress's construction techniques and urban organization, challenging traditional perceptions of Illyrian society as primitive. The Gajtan fortress stands as a testament to the sophistication of Illyrian military architecture and urban planning before the Roman conquest. The Ottoman-era bazaar of Gjirokaster. The Ottoman-era bazaar of Gjirokaster, dating primarily to the 17th century Anno Domini, represents one of Albania's best-preserved examples of traditional Islamic urban architecture and commercial spaces. This sprawling marketplace complex stretches along a steep hillside, following the natural contours of the terrain in characteristic Ottoman fashion. The bazaar's cobbled streets are lined with over 200 shops housed in 2-story stone buildings, featuring distinctive Ottoman architectural elements such as wooden cantilevered upper floors, stone arches, and tiled roofs. The complex includes several historic mosques, the most notable being the Bazaar Mosque, built in 1557 with its elegant pencil-shaped minaret and intricately painted interior decorations. Recent restoration work has uncovered original Ottoman shop signs and accounting records that provide fascinating insights into the bazaar's commercial life during its heyday. The marketplace was organized by guilds, with specific areas dedicated to different crafts: the coppersmith's quarter, leather tanner's section, and textile merchants district, all preserving their original layouts. Of particular architectural importance is the old Ottoman inn, Han, that once accommodated traveling merchants, featuring a central courtyard surrounded by arched galleries. Archaeological investigations beneath the bazaar have revealed medieval foundations and evidence of earlier Byzantine commercial activity on the site. The bazaar's water system, consisting of stone fountains and underground channels bringing water from mountain springs, represents a masterpiece of Ottoman hydraulic engineering. Today, the Gjirokaster Bazaar continues to function as a vibrant commercial and cultural center while preserving its authentic Ottoman character, offering visitors a unique opportunity to experience Albania's living historical heritage. Ongoing conservation projects carefully balance preservation needs with modern economic requirements, ensuring the bazaar remains both a historical monument and a thriving community space. The ancient Greek colony of Olympi, the ruins of ancient Olympi, located near the modern village of Mavrov in southern Albania, represent one of the country's most important, yet least known Greek colonial settlements, founded in the 6th century before Christ. This strategically positioned colony, established by settlers from the Greek city of Ambracia, features impressive fortification walls built in the characteristic isodomic masonry style, with perfectly fitted limestone blocks. The Acropolis contains the foundations of a Doric temple dedicated to Zeus, evidenced by architectural fragments and votive offerings bearing inscriptions to the deity. Recent excavations in the lower city have uncovered a well-preserved agora with a monumental stoa covered walkway measuring 45 meters in length, where archaeologists discovered numerous commercial weights and bronze coins minted by the city. The residential quarters feature houses built in typical Greek style around central courtyards, some with preserved mosaic floors depicting geometric patterns. Particularly significant is the discovery of a 4th century before Christ theater carved into the hillside, with 18 rows of seats accommodating approximately 3,000 spectators. The city's necropolis has yielded rich grave goods, including gold funerary wreaths, imported Attic pottery, and bronze mirrors that demonstrate Olympi's prosperity and cultural connections. Under Roman rule beginning in the 2nd century before Christ, the city expanded with the construction of baths and a nymphaeum fountain complex, while maintaining its Greek cultural identity. Ongoing archaeological work is gradually revealing more about this important but understudied Greek colony, including recent finds of lid, curse tablets that provide fascinating insights into the religious practices of its inhabitants. The site's relative isolation has helped preserve its archaeological integrity, making it an invaluable resource for understanding Greek colonial architecture and urban planning in the Adriatic hinterland. The medieval Church of St. Nicholas in Mesopotam. The Church of St. Nicholas in Mesopotam, dating to the 13th century Anno Domini, represents one of Albania's most significant Byzantine-era religious monuments and a masterpiece of late medieval architecture. This cross and square church features a distinctive architectural plan with a central dome supported by 4 massive columns and an extended narthex added in the 14th century. The church's interior is adorned with exquisite frescoes executed in multiple phases between 1272 and 1389, creating a remarkable artistic palimpsest that reflects the evolution of Byzantine painting styles. The sanctuary area preserves one of the most complete deisis compositions in the Balkans, with Christ Pantocrator flanked by the Virgin Mary and John the Baptist in majestic poses. Particularly noteworthy are the frescoes depicting scenes from the life of St. Nicholas, the church's patron saint, painted with remarkable detail and vibrant colors that have retained their brilliance for over 7 centuries. The iconostasis, carved in the 16th century from walnut wood, features intricate floral motifs and gilded figures of saints that represent the transition from Byzantine to post-Byzantine artistic traditions. Recent conservation work has revealed previously hidden layers of frescoes and inscriptions that provide new insights into the church's complex history. Archaeological investigations beneath the church have uncovered the foundations of an early Christian basilica dating to the 5th century Anno Domini, confirming the site's long religious significance. The church's strategic hilltop location, surrounded by medieval fortification walls, speaks to its dual role as both spiritual center and defensive stronghold during turbulent periods. Current preservation efforts focus on stabilizing the fragile frescoes and protecting the structure from environmental damage while maintaining its function as an active place of worship. The Church of St. Nicholas stands as a testament to Albania's rich Byzantine heritage and the enduring vitality of Orthodox Christian traditions in the region. The Romang Villa of Durres, Villa of Orsatis. The Romang Villa of Durres, discovered in 2018 during construction work in the heart of modern Durres, represents one of the most significant archaeological finds of late antiquity in Albania, dating to the 4th-6th centuries Anno Domini. This luxurious maritime villa, believed to have belonged to a wealthy merchant or official named Orsatis, identified from mosaic inscriptions, covers an area of approximately 1,200 square meters and features some of the finest Roman mosaics ever uncovered in the Balkans. The villa's reception hall contains a spectacular mosaic floor depicting intricate geometric patterns and mythological scenes, including a unique representation of the god Oceanus surrounded by marine creatures. The private baths complex, complete with hypocaust heating systems and marble-lined pools, demonstrates the owner's wealth and sophisticated tastes. Archaeologists have uncovered over 30 rooms arranged around a central peristyle courtyard with a monumental fountain decorated with marble statues of nymphs. The villa's exceptional preservation is due to its sudden abandonment following an earthquake in the early 6th century Anno Domini, which buried the structure under collapsed walls and roof tiles, effectively sealing and protecting its interior. Decorations. Recent excavations have revealed a small private chapel with early Christian symbols superimposed on earlier pagan motifs, illustrating the religious transition occurring during this period. The discovery of amphorae from North Africa, glassware from Syria, and marble from Greece and Asia Minor testifies to Durres' extensive trade networks in late antiquity. Current conservation efforts focus on preserving the fragile mosaics in situ while developing innovative solutions to protect the site within its urban context. The Villa of Orsatis provides unprecedented insights into the luxurious lifestyle of Durres, elite during the final centuries of Roman rule and the transition to Byzantine administration. The Ottoman Clock Tower of Peqin. The Clock Tower of Peqin, constructed in 1770 Anno Domini, during the reign of Ottoman governor Ahmet Kurt Pasha, stands as one of Albania's finest examples of Islamic timekeeping architecture and a symbol of the country's Ottoman heritage. This elegant 25-meter-high stone tower, located in the historic center of Peqin, features a distinctive octagonal design with alternating courses of stone and brick that create a striking visual pattern. The tower's sophisticated timekeeping mechanism, imported from Venice, represented cutting-edge technology for its time and served to regulate the daily prayers and commercial activities of the town. Architectural analysis reveals a complex system of internal staircases leading to the clock chamber, where original gears and pendulum mechanisms are still partially preserved. The tower's strategic position gave the 16th century Mosque of Peqin, and the medieval fortress created an impressive urban ensemble that symbolized Ottoman authority in the region. Recent restoration work has uncovered original Ottoman inscriptions documenting the tower's construction history and repairs made after the 1855 earthquake. Archaeological investigations around the base have revealed the foundations of an earlier Byzantine watchtower incorporated into the Ottoman structure, demonstrating the site's long-standing strategic importance. The tower's architectural details reflect a fascinating synthesis of Ottoman military design and Italian Renaissance influences, particularly evident in the decorative stone cornices and window treatments. Unlike many similar structures in the Balkans that were destroyed during various conflicts, the Peqin clock tower survived remarkably intact, maintaining its original function until the early 20th century. Current preservation efforts focus on documenting the tower's sophisticated engineering features while maintaining its role as a beloved local landmark. The clock tower of Peqin represents an important chapter in Albania's Islamic heritage and stands as a testament to the technological and cultural exchanges that characterize the Ottoman period in the Balkans.
Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe.